Hi, and welcome back to Hey, have you read this book? Today's book is What About Your Saucepans, written by Lindsay de Feliz. This extraordinary story about living in the Dominican Republic is both entertaining and disturbing. When Lindsay was 30 years old, she was single and a successful career woman, but felt sure there was something missing in her life. She decided to give up her job, sell her house and study for an MBA. She met the man who was to become her husband on the course. At 35 years of age, after Lindsay was married, she tried to have children but could not. For 5 years, Lindsay and her husband tried IVF with no success. After that, she gave up trying. Lindsay had a nice house, a car, designer clothes, a successful career and a good lifestyle. But she was unhappy with her life, which seemed meaningless. She had learned to scuba dive and went on as many diving trips as often as she could, usually to the Maldives, which she loved. She left London and her husband of 10 years to pursue her dream of being a scuba diver instructor. After qualifying as a diving instructor, she started a job teaching in a dive school in Menorca, then was offered a job in Juan Dolio on the south coast of the Dominican Republic. A few weeks later, Lindsay was put in charge of her own hotel, where she would encourage the guests to sign up for a diving course. Lindsay loved her job and was having a fun and carefree life. Lindsay liked the people because they were so friendly and optimistic. She was happy because she loved the diving, the sun, the sea and the people. She went dancing almost every night with the other dive instructors, who were also foreigners. She wasn't looking for a relationship when she met Danilo, who grew up in La Loma in the mountains above Barahona, a town in the southwest of the Dominican Republic. Danilo and Lindsay got on fantastically, even though Danilo's English was poor and Lindsay couldn't understand a lot of Spanish. Danilo had 3 boys, a ready-made family for Lindsay. Danilo showed Lindsay another side of the Dominican Republic that she hadn't seen. Away from the main roads of bars, restaurants and shops, people lived in appalling poverty in homes with no running water or electricity. Whenever Danilo and Lindsay were out, everyone seemed to know Danilo. Lindsay and Danilo bought a convenience store where people could buy enough food for one day, as many people didn't have fridges. The television was constantly on and people would dance to the music in the shop. Danilo also worked for the Air Force and the Department of National Investigations. He became friendly with generals and colonels in the Air Force. Danilo had so many friends that there would always be people arriving at dinner time or hanging around in the garden. Danilo started to become involved in politics. After they were married, Lindsay left her job with the dive school to work at the store. Danilo and Lindsay would often go out after work, meeting up with his friends or other dive instructors or other expats. Lindsay loved her life. However, her life changed one night when returning home after being out with her friends. She was shot in the throat by men who were going to rob her house. She was frantically rushed to the hospital where she thought she would die. In the 12 days she was in hospital, hundreds of people went to see Lindsay. After her recovery, Lindsay could no longer speak loudly, sing or dive. Danilo continued to be involved in politics and decided to run for mayor in the municipality of Guayacan, which was made up of 7 towns and villages. Danilo and Lindsay started to spend all their time and money on the campaign. Danilo was becoming very popular. However, Custodia, the temporary mayor, was determined to cause trouble for Danilo and did everything in his power to stop Danilo from becoming mayor. Danilo and Lindsay's lives were in danger and they were forced into hiding. Despite the adversity and setbacks Lindsay had to face, she will stay in the Dominican Republic as that is where she is happy. Read this outstanding true story about finding love in a country where corruption is the norm. and finding out about the dark side of living in the Dominican Republic the hard way. Thanks for watching.